Welcome back. In the last segment, I gave you a little bit of an overview of what we're going to cover. And I ended with the question, how would you feel if I told you that everything you think you know about marketing is wrong and costing you time, energy, and money? And I know that's a bit controversial. I promise we're going to back that up. But the number one myth I'd like to bust, I hear over and over, people will say something to the effect of if your business is 100% referral based, the assumption is that you're struggling, you're not you're not able to grow, you're not consistent. I'd like to bust that myth right now because the reality is the better you get at referrals, the better you get at connecting with your community, the steadier your business will become. So that is the number one myth about marketing. People think if you're in a rush or in a hurry or need results quickly, you pay a whole bunch of money for marketing and then you wait for the clients to come in. The reality is, I can do more in an afternoon with a strategic partner than most people can do in a lifetime of paid marketing. So I want you to really think about that and think, is there a different perspective? Now, this presentation is about networking. This shouldn't be a surprise. But the first thing I want to ask you is to think about, what do you believe about networking? And so the first question is, are you a good networker? Why? So why did you answer the way you did? Either, maybe you think you are a good networker, maybe you think you aren't, but why do you think that? Next question I'd like you to ponder is the question, does networking work for your specific business? Why or why not? Once you've thought about that, ask yourself, for whom does networking work best? Is it a certain type of individual? Is it a certain type of organization? What do you think makes networking work best? Next question is, what can networking accomplish? And the flip side, what can't networking accomplish? The next question is my favorite. What types of businesses benefit the most from networking? Some of the things I'll share might surprise you. Second last question, is networking a reliable way to grow a business? And a follow-up question, is networking a predictable way to grow a business? So, if I may, I want to understand what you believe, because what you believe is important. I would say that most people either think they're a great networker when maybe they aren't, or they think they're a bad networker when maybe they're actually pretty good at it. So be honest and assess where you are as a networker. The next question, does networking work for your business? It's a bit of a trick question. I literally don't know a single business on the planet that couldn't benefit from networking. And by the way, I also believe networking works in your personal life, it works in religion, it works in education, any aspect of your life. If you're serious about improving that aspect, building a network of like minded individuals, creating what I would call a mastermind, networking can give you a lifetime of results in a very short period of time because you're learning from the best of the best. Um, Podcasts are a great way to learn. You can interview people, feature them, you learn while your audience learns. Now, the whom does networking work best question is a bit of a trick question, because I believe it works best for anybody who decides to be a networker. And what I mean by that, we'll get into the nuances of networking, but the first step to becoming a networker is to decide to be a networker. Networking can accomplish, as I said, literally anything. If you need a resource, if you need to learn something, if you need to find someone, networking is a great tool. I literally can't think of examples of things networking can't accomplish. Now, obviously, maybe there's some big things, at some point, networking can help you find better doctors, better resources. Networking can help with a lot of things. And under the type of business, I believe that almost any type of business on the planet can benefit, whether it's business to consumer, consumer to consumer. all types of businesses, big, small, global, regional, local. I've seen all of them benefit from networking. And so the last two questions, my experience is that networking is both reliable and predictable as ways to grow a business. Now, one thing I will say, the reason I ask those questions, we want to test your beliefs because the harsh reality is you cannot network beyond your belief system. Your brain will always find ways to confirm whatever you believe about networking. If you believe that networking doesn't work, your brain will look for evidence to prove that. If you believe networking does work, your brain will find evidence. So whether you think networking works or not, good news, you're right. The better news is today you can decide and you can choose to become an intentional networker. So I just want to say, whatever mistakes you've made in the past, it is literally not your fault. Unless you're one of the truly lucky few, which I don't meet a lot of these, I doubt that anyone has ever taught you why networking is important, where to network, how to network, or that networking can, in fact, outperform paid marketing. I'll take raving fans over paid ads any day. And one of the things I need to stress, and at the risk of my own personal health and safety, I want to say that big marketing and all of the people who tell you you've got to listen to big marketing, you've got to pay, and you got to keep that big marketing machine going, they're lying to you. The billionaires behind these companies want your money. They don't care if you succeed, they don't have any repercussions if you don't succeed. They want your money, period. Sorry to tell you that. So before we get into how to do things, I want you to think about what do you actually want for your business. A lot of people on social media, they'll tell you you need likes, you need follows. I call these empty calories because as smart as I am, I haven't figured out how to feed my kids either with likes or follows. Are you looking for leads? Are you looking for prospects? Do you want referrals? Do you want introductions? Are you looking for clients? Are you looking for profitable clients? And the reality is, what you want matters. And if you don't know the difference, and we'll come into more detail on each of these, but if you don't know the difference between likes, follows, leads, prospects, referrals, introductions, or clients, you need to stop and learn this and educate yourself because your activities matter and what you do will determine what you get. So, as I said, your activities produce your results. If you have a bad target or if an unclear target, you're not going to get the results you need. Therefore, you're going to end up wasting a lot of time, energy, and money. So, I would beg of you right now just to promise me that you will, in fact, stop wasting time, energy, and money. Only then can you get off the hamster wheel and make the time to do what you need to do to grow your business. So, when it comes to networking, my number one rule is always be curious. Find something about other people. There is always something that fascinates you about someone in your network. Find out what that is and ask yourself who is the most interesting person that you know and why are they interesting to you. So, the more curious you are about other people, the more you're going to learn, the more you can impact your own business. So I believe there are multiple paths, but for today, I'm going to ask you to choose between the old way, which is digital marketing, and sometimes there's tricks and tips and shortcuts. There's a lot of promises that may or may not lead to clients. I want you to ask yourself, is what you're doing working for you? And are there hidden costs? And most importantly, how does it feel? Because one of the things I find over and over, if something doesn't feel right in business, we're not going to do it consistently. Now, I'm going to propose a new way, and that is networking. And this door is useful and something you want to consider if you are, in fact, open to building authentic relationships and you're really clear and you know what to do. So we don't want you networking if you don't know what to do. We want to make sure you're clear on what to do. And if growth is truly a priority, you're looking to add great clients, uh, give networking a try. The beautiful thing about networking is if you don't find it works for you, you can go back to the old way of doing things and you won't miss a beat. And last but not least, before you start networking, ask yourself sincerely, do you know how to make it work specifically for your business? So there's a bit of an irony. I just want to point this out. Everybody talks about social media and social marketing and digital marketing as if it's been around forever. But I just want to point out that traditional marketing that everybody clings to has only been around since probably the 50s, the 60s. Once radio came out, I think we started to see some marketing. Once TV came out, we saw more marketing. Once the internet came out, we saw a lot of emphasis on digital marketing. We forget that print media and marketing has been around for a while. But the really interesting thing, and I love the dichotomy of this, networking has literally been around for millennia. It's not really new. If you go back to the old days of the trades and the trade societies and things like that, they took on apprentices and they taught them the trade. If you go back to the early days in early empires, whether it's Roman or Egyptian or Greek or what have you, people did business with people that they knew. So we are a social species. And one of my favorite things, I receive at least one cold outreach a day. And I don't know why, but it's consistently the marketers who want to tell me how amazing they are. And I always say, I will give you my undivided attention if you answer one question for me. And the question I ask them is, if you're as good as you say you are, why are you calling me instead of me finding you and begging to work with you? And I love that because usually they just hang up on me. They don't even try to answer the question. But the reality is, if they're as good as they say they are, I, as a potential client, should be finding them, not them chasing me. Because what I hear when they cold call me is that they don't know how to get clients other than cold calling. And yet they want those clients to trust their abilities to market to get clients. So I believe the real reason we do marketing is not because we want to buy marketing and we have money to burn. We do something called marketing because we want to get clients. So I would humbly submit to you, find the best possible way to get clients and do that. So at this point, I'm going to stop. This is the last slide I'm going to share in this recording. There will be others, but I'm going to offer you a simple choice. So you can take the blue door or you can take the red door. The blue door represents traditional marketing. I don't want to waste a second of your precious time trying to convince you that networking is the way to go. If you believe that traditional marketing is best for your business, I highly recommend you leave the presentation now. If you're one of the people who've paid to be in a workshop, you can leave now. I will issue a refund. I won't ask any questions. I won't hold it against you. On the other hand, if you're open to rediscovering the oldest way of growing a business, the fastest, the most successful, and by the way, the cheapest, choose the red door, stick around. We're going to get into relational marketing. And I want to congratulate you for choosing a new reality. Stick around and we're going to have some fun. And hopefully, you'll learn a lot of valuable things you can implement in your business.